That symbol. Today, we use our power to fell a god, and then seize our destiny! All that I am is fading. The memory of a god's existence, born from the chaos of creation. It is vanishing.
What were you looking at? The sea?
I wasn't looking at anything in particular. If anything, Fiora, I was thinking. Thinking about the future that awaits us all.
There it is.
Melia, we're in sight of Alchemoth.
All right, I'm on my way.
Can we talk about that Monado at all? Can we talk about that at all? It's like new and shit.
Phew. Guess we're still in one piece.
Quite. What in the world was that?
It happened so quickly that I didn't get a good look myself. I saw some flickering around the capital. Then suddenly, a black beam.
A black beam? Some new defensive measure, perhaps. The junks. Can it fly?
Some components sustained heavy damage. It won't budge until we can swap them out.
Right.
It's fine. They're not particularly rare parts. They'll have them in Alchemoth.
You make it sound very simple. Remember, we are still very much in the dark here.
Good thing I came prepared. We'll probably be needing this.
Sister Bomb, watch out on right! I take care of it. Kino handle left side. Gotcha!
Those voices.
Are those? It's Kino and Nene. What are they doing here?
Shulk, we must help them.
Of course.
Gameplay differences. Some elements of this new adventure are very different from your adventure so far. Most major points will be introduced in the following pages. Okay. As you progress, instead of chain attacks, you'll unlock an all-new system. Okay. You still require a segment of the gauge to revive allies. In this new adventure, Shulk has lost his power to see visions. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Some allies will battle in ways not present before. The skill tree system has been removed. Okay, that means the comments can stop yelling at least. There are further changes. Keep an eye out. Kind of looks like you just kind of move stuff around. What are you doing? You crazies. Show me the equipment for this. Monado Replica EX. Yeah, this thing looks dope. Yeah, it definitely fits the theme of making a replica that's a bit closer to the look of the original. Or at least adding an updated style. I also like our new fit. Also, Melia's voice is different. I didn't hear anybody about how she's been recast, so the mystery is simple. The solution is simple. It's been 10 years. People grow. People end up sounding a bit different. I'm interested in how all this goes, because this is all the wholly new stuff since we're in future connected.
Who next in line to get face full of mild down? Anyone so much as breathe this way, rifle of Kino go blam or blam.
Kino, Nene, are you hurt?
Let us help too.
Miss Melia, Mr. Shulk. Help very welcome. More is always merrier.
I like the sense of funk that this battle theme just got. Thankfully, everything's positioned the way it should be. Granted, I don't think I ever adjusted it past level up, so that makes sense. Also, we're 60. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't really carry over. I guess I didn't miss any other optional Monado arts, because there's still a slot missing there. But I do have armor.
Big sis, we did it! Job is good one, Kino.
That was amazing, you two. It was like seeing Ryan and Sharla fighting together again.
Just so. Fitting. For children of here upon Ricky's household. No injuries, Kino?
Nene, very, very sorry. Kino, not so good with strangers.
Oh, really? Most interesting.
Please do not take personally.
If we stay here, there is a risk of another attack. We should move to a safer location.
Very well. Is this acceptable?
Plenty acceptable.
Right. Let's go. This place looks promising. We can take a break here.
So tell us, what were you two doing out there? Rather, how did you even get here at all?
About that.
Melia, I think these two must have come on the junks.
What? Are you quite sure, Shulk?
When you consider their relative positions, I think it's quite credible.
The capital, on the Bionis shoulder.
So,
Ah. So that is where the junks comes in, then. I appreciate it. But even though we won peace with Zanz's defeat, the rebuilding continues. Much remains to be done.
I realize that. And I also know that you've been putting in every effort.
So why then?
If the capital is on the shoulder, there are people there. I thought you'd want to go.
Shulk. That's...
We could be there and back in less than half a day.
Mama? Me. Kino, may be better to explain. Mama, we're just on a little strolly stroll when we suddenly hear voices. Now, Kino. Nene watch Kino with eyes of Rogel. Kino, follow Mr. Shulk from behind and do some sneak peekings. Mama, Sister Pon followed Kino and sneak peek on too. Meh.
So you stowed away like I thought. But what for?
Kino always look up to Dadapon. Want to become mighty Heropon too.
I'm certain Ricky would be most proud. But how did that lead to you boarding our vessel?
He see opportunity to help people who in trouble. That way can become friends with people everywhere. Mighty Heropon make friends with every toe step. Or so Dadapon say, at least.
I see. That does explain things.
Many sorries. It's not fault of Sister Pon. He's not scored Nene. Fault is of Kino only. Kino. Sincere sorries. Kino wanted to repay debt. Dadapon and Momapon take Kino in when Kino all alone.
You were alone?
Is truth. One day, out of blue, Dadapon bring Kino home. Said, here is Brotherpon. That day, nobody make comments. Everyone except Kino. Kino, more happy they could say. That why. That way want to become Heropon and repay debt to family. Kino really sorry.
Kino, you do your family honor. Yours is a most noble sentiment. I am utterly certain that Ricky and Oka are proud of you too.
Actually, Melia and I are in a bit of trouble right now. We could use the help.
For really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, if Kino must. You really twist wing. But fine, we'll allow to be sidekicks of Kino. Kino? Wrong word. supposed to say friends.
So, we'll be heading for the capital to find parts for the junks.
Yes, about that. It's a bit of a hike, but could we check out that cape?
Explain.
I'm a bit concerned. What you said about defensive measures.
You fear we may come under fire again. Is that it?
Yeah.
It is true. Caution frequently pays off in the long run. The cape it is.
Great. It's settled.
Legend of Hero Volcano! It all started here! Mahey!
So a few things. One, I think it's really funny that Shulk goes, man, it's almost as if these two party members are fighting together again because you will fill their roles. Two, that one really got me. Two, I was struggling to understand why they were saying the Alchemotha location I've been to is in a location that it clearly wasn't before. I guess my assumption is because they rebuilt the world at the end of the last game, it just got moved there. So I'm just gonna run under that assumption. Because it's there now. It's like, that's the only reason it would kind of move. And I think that's it. I think those are the only two things worth mentioning. Oh yeah, the other thing. I guess due to the current pandemic events and stuff, they had to be a little bit messy with how they tightened up this part of the game, at least in terms of like the localization and polish, because there were about a handful of like line reads there that did not match up with the subtitles at all, which seemed pretty weird. Like they generally matched up, but it's like you would hear what they said and you went, why isn't it's not matching at all? Like, what are they doing? So that was a little weird. You don't see that too often. But I'm just gonna chalk that up to we're dealing with some rough times in the world. So some things have to end up coming off less than 100% polished. It's not a huge deal, but I thought I'd point it out.
Many bird people here.
Are there really only high-end tier living here?
Oh there, strangers.
Oh, hello.
I see. You've had a rough time of it. However, I suggest you steer clear of Alchemotha. Even if you do somehow get there in one piece, don't expect the transporters to be running.
Oh? Why's that?
The thing that shot at you was no defense platform. It was a monster we've taken to calling the Fog King.
The Fog King?
Yeah. Suddenly showed up in Alchemotha a few months back.
From what I gather, you're from the Imperial Guard. Are the swords you carry just for show?
Taking a sword to it is folly. It laughs at our attacks. It's like hacking at smoke. Blows pass clean through it.
Must be Ghost. Ghost not shoot beams, dum-dum.
So that's why you call it the Fog King?
We fought in defense of our home. We were ready to die, and many of us did. But in the end, it won us nothing at all. The Fog King's attacks tore into us hard, Eventually, we gathered the High Entia and anyone else we found, and gave up the capital, so that we might live.
How awful.
My grieving heart belongs there. Our heartland, our capital. Yet I cannot even mourn it.
Maxis,
Huh? Yes?
please, you have to tell us how to get inside.
Shulk, be serious.
Boy, are you hard of hearing?
I heard you.
Then you should know better.
No matter the situation, we have to go. If I fix the junks, we can all leave this place. Then, once we're in Colony 9, we can make plans to retake Alchemoth.
No point.
Why not?
Shulk, do you think we took all that lying down?
Huh?
We're not stupid, you know. We did all we could. It's true. I want to go home. But that's a dream that won't come to pass, and it already cost too many lives.
Maxis.
I understand where you're coming from. Still, I have to be blunt with you. Let it go.
Now what?
Judging from the speech, I can't see us convincing him.
So this mean we're stuck here?
Quite a predicament, Empress Melia.
This dude
Who
is
are you?
dressed evil.
How do you know my name?
I humbly beg your pardon. Gelgar, at your Majesty's service. Formerly of the Personal Protection Division of the Alchemoth Guard Regiment.
Is that so? Then the pardon is mine to beg, Sir Gelgar. And please, dispense with the Majesty.
Perish the thought, your Majesty. The recent war has rid us of the wicked purebloods. A new age dawns, and we half-breeds are chosen for its caretakers. With you, Lady Melia, as our shining paragon, I cannot but address you as Majesty.
I have no patience for wheedling. Especially from knaves who spit on their ancestors.
I would never dream of doing such. I merely spoke plain truth, no more.
As you wish. But the Majesty address is burdensome to me.
If you absolutely insist. Until you deign to acquiesce, Lady Melia will have to suffice.
So kind, Sir Gelgar.
Make no mention of it, Lady Melia.
Sir Gelgar, we really need to get to Alchemoth, no matter what.
Ah yes, I have heard your exchange with Maxis. Hindering the Empress's triumph. A narrow-minded fool if ever there was one. To begin the authentication process, one must raise their hand to the transporter. The device is configured in such a way that only some of the High Entia in this land and the Imperial family may pass. Hence, Lady Melia should not have the slightest issue activating it.
A similar mechanism to the tombs, then.
That's our ticket into Alchemoth.
Yes.
Tasty news! Friend Gelgar is good friends! Kind thanks, Birdmister.
Not at all. I am but a humble servant in Lady Melia's employ. If it not displease my ladyship too grossly, may I offer you my companionship on your journey? I have a modicum of skill with the blade, please rest assured.
I appreciate the offer, but must refuse. We do not lack for strength.
Indeed. A great shame. Should the need arise, I shall remain ready to serve.
Certainly. By the way, Sir Galgar, this outpost appears to consist of naught but soldiers. Where might all the other refugees reside?
They dwell beyond the Grandel ramparts, which lie below this point.
They live at a remove from you, then?
Yes, because of the Machina who live there.
What do you mean?
Might you have forgotten? When the war broke out, it was the Machina's treachery that lit the fuse. Were it not for them, we needn't have lost our brethren and our home.
You couldn't stand the Machina and thus moved away?
Precisely.
But the war is concluded, Sir Gelgar.
Some simply cannot let go so easily.
Melia, shall we go see for ourselves?
Ah, yes. Very well. Sir Gelgar, we will take our leave of you now.
Do please take care of yourselves. You'll find passage to the capital through the Cragmore Caverns.
Sir Gelgar, thanks for this.
See you friend later. Please to be extra careful of self.
The same to you all.
You can buy weapons and armor in shops. In this chapter of your adventure, you will not find armor among the spoils of defeating monsters. You may find weapons that differ from what shops have on offer. Wait, hold on. Did I read that wrong? You will not find armor amongst the spoils. But oh, okay, you may find weapons. Okay, so that makes sense. There's no lack of people having problems. Ugh. God, after going through Xenoblade 1, just being like, hey, we got your side quest here. And just like last time, I'm not reading any of it. I'm sure it's a good story. I don't care enough. I can't do it to myself again. Someone's like, what do you mean? You never read them in the first game. And I'm like, don't pay attention to my words. No one asked. I didn't ask to fucking be a content creator for detectives. I just came here for games. We should check the shop for equipment.
Hi there.
How are we doing on money? Pathetic. Pathetic in every basic way. In fact, I'll just wait until late. Wait. There might be like art books. No. That's another question I have. What are we looking at on that whole situation? They just made me middle of the road. Okay. Kind of hate the idea of leveling down for this, but it is what it is. Hey, that broke. We're learning so much, ladies and gentlemen. I even completed a quest. On the bionic shoulder, you can use a tool called an ether pick. A more efficient one. Okay, so this is where they have the chance to like do more advanced systems of collection, where it's like, all right, we'll mess with that, where you get different stuff. I just picked up Arts Heal 2. Quiet moment. Quiet moments are just heart to hearts. Need an active party. Okay.
Brother Sister Pon. Hope they're not giving Mama Pon too much trouble buckets.
Nene, there you are.
Something the matter?
Kino's been looking for you. Something about stubbing his toe?
Little Pon never change. Nene will rub back later and go, there, there.
You're a good sister, Nene. Or maybe more like a mum. By the way, what were you doing out here, Nene?
Nene been reminiscing about Frontier Village, tiny bit.
I see. So, that's where you were living before?
Yep, in past, Nene always adventure into Magna Forest with Brother Sister Pon and climb trees every day.
I assume you were the responsible one then?
That silly question. Nopon boys all good for nothing lazy bones. It all too much for Mama Pon to handle, so Nene have to help take care of Brother Sister Pon and Dada Pon all full up.
I wonder what Ricky would have to say to that.
Dada Pon, after he'd chosen for Village Hero Pon and set off on great adventure with Mr. Shulk, house become total pigsty, hungry little Pon underfoot everywhere.
Wow, I had no idea. Wait, was this after Ricky joined us? So that must mean...
Yep, before Nene become friends with Mr. Shulk and friends here, we actually meet 1 year ago back in Frontier Village. Dada Pon, stomach rumbly rumbly. Dada Pon, need food. Dada Pon, give grab.
You're kidding. I'm sorry. I feel kind of bad about this now. Though, in my defense, you've really grown. It's almost like you're a whole different Nopon.
In Nopon biology, age between 10 and 15 often experience growth spurt. That why, when compare Nene now and Nene 1 year ago, it not too surprising if not realize they the same person.
It's still quite a surprise. I never knew that a Nopon could grow that much in a single year.
Now Mr. Shulk no can rely on post-growth spurt Nene more than ever.
We can always count on Nopon. Us Homs could learn a lot from you.
But Nene have these moments lately when get teeny bit lonely. Poor Hum-Hum. Mr. Shulk, such chowhound.
I don't think that was me.
Nene prepare some grub, too sweet. Now, Mr. Shulk, go cook Kino and Miss Melia and tell to wash up.
Really, that's... We thought she was so grown up for always taking care of Kino. But really, she's just a kid. No wonder she's lonely.
Mr. Shulk, something happened? Tell me too rumbly to move, or what?
Wait, I've got it.
Mama?
I'll round up all the others. Then after, we can all chip in with a meal. It'll be more fun that way.
Mr. Shulk would not say no.
That was a nice scene. I'm probably not going to get many, if any of those, I imagine, because we'll be like, no, at this point in the story, you gotta go here and you gotta have this affinity with this character, and if you don't have that, then go eat my ass. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna refuse to eat anything and just leave. Cragmaw Caverns. Oh my god, is that a safariman? I don't like this. So they tried to do a land survey and they got lost. Pond Specters, an elite unit of no pond surveyors. It's a group no one knows. Oh my god. I did not expect a menu of these little bastards. The Pond Specters are an elite band of surveyors, split between red, blue, and yellow teams if you can befriend members from all three teams. Oh my god, they replaced chain attacks with fucking Nopon-related garbage. You bastards! These bastards. How dare you? There's one over there. I'm losing my mind at this prospect of, like, you really went out here and this is your idea. This special, I better like the special attack or there will be hell to pay. Let's see. It should be right across the bridge. Is it right across the... Yeah, it's not too far away from it. You.
What did they do this time?
Alright, so you have things you need to do. I don't know why my brain almost started reading. Look for Tay-Tay's charm at Nearthus Necropolis. Fine. Understood. We have exploring to do. We have side objectives that we're basically going to treat as required objectives. Because I need to assemble the team. I did the thing you asked. Alright, Tay-Tay has been obtained. Obtained? Got it? Huh? 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 This game sucks. Let's change it to night. Maybe there's some surveying at night. I don't know. Maybe that's how this works. It's not how this works, maybe, but alright, change it to like 6 a.m. 8 is close enough. My finger's uncontrollable. Let's go to those caverns and get some more.
Alchemoth.
You okay?
Miss Melly, what's wrong? Is tummy hurty?
No, nothing like that. I'm just remembering what we heard at Companion's Cape. I have been mistaken in my thinking. The war is over and peace has been restored. We are rebuilding, slowly but steadily. I'd thought that with peace came happiness. Indeed, that even here, people would embrace it with open arms. But the reality is different.
The wounds have not yet fully healed.
Quite. Those who lost their home. Those seeking the light. Those who bear grudges. Though joy for them is still scarce, I thought only of me.
But you didn't. Not at all. The High Entier of Colony 9. Actually, everyone who remained. You worked hard for them. You, Dunban, and Atharon led by example. Just so that others could smile.
Yes, yes, keep on happy, Hat. Kino lustade på en mamma, but still full of bounce.
Kino.
Exactly. Before, Kino cried every day. Did not even want to go potty alone. Sis! Why you bring that up? That's completely irrelevant to discussion. Embarrass Kino not cheer up, Miss Melly. Agree to disagree. Anyway, cannot abandon hope. That upon's words.
Hope.
To become the hope of the High Entier is a fate that you choose for yourself. As long as you remember this, it is certain that you will be worthy of that name.
You are the hope of the High Entier. You will not transform into a Telethia. Even after the Bionis has reawakened, you can still succeed the Imperial line. You have the power to end our suffering.
Friends, thank you. I think I can finally see now what my role here is. Onwards to Alchemoth.
I need you to join me. I've been waiting for so long for you to specifically join me. What do we need? Defeat the shoal of Wapple Sardee that ate your snack. Get more. Join me, you fucking fool.
To protect my friends.
All right, we got a few other ones located. All right, I seem to have found. There's a red dot over there. I seem to have found another one of these. Bophora. So I gotta defeat 3 things for you. Those 3 things aren't anywhere to be found. All right, we found Fifa. So you have some stuff you need me to do. Having finished your survey, solve her riddles, collect an item that drifts and digs but has no eyes. I bet I have it. I'm glad that their riddles are just, if you have it, it automatically completes. Hello, Fifla. You watched me take down some stuff. Thank God. Well, give me my debuff resist gem, a bunch of experience points, and most importantly, you join the team. Bringing our squadron up to like 4. Okay, we got a couple east, but I still have the one that I need to do. I've done everything for you, Fofora. I beat up dudes. I did all you motherfucker. You won over there. The nerve of these Nopon. I swear to God. You can't, nothing's ever enough for them. They're so rude. It makes sense. We had to clear out those enemies there so that I could go back to her, tell her it's safe, and then she could go over here. So far, early impressions of this expansion thing, this like, this epilogue chunk it's okay. I'm interested in what it's leading to. I can only imagine the Fog King is going to be closely related to Melia, and it's like, maybe it's like memories of either her lineage or her father directly. She kind of has to like have some sort of conclusion with that. That's the only thing I can assume. We're just gonna skip these guys. Is she below me? She might be. No, she's right there. Alright, let's run until they get away from me. I have no intentions on dealing with you. Not today, not now, not ever. We'll be back. No! Are you good now? Are you done? Yes, you're done. It all doesn't matter anyway because you have to join me. Stick with me, and you'll be the best there is. That brings us up to 5 of you. Alright, we have another quiet moment. Also, I'm hoping I'm a little bit less edited now. Because I know this so far has been heavily cut to cut. But it's mainly because they have front-loaded this with a lot of side stuff that isn't very interesting. It's just your usual side quest trash to get these nightmares on my team. But I found another quiet moment, so we'll do that.
So high up!
It really is, isn't it?
When stand on tippy edge, I'd go dizzy. Whoa!
Kino, don't get too close to the edge. If you lose your footing, you could fall.
Here is much safer. Strange view when come to think about. Clouds look like floaty fluff below feet.
You're right. I don't think I've ever been this high up before either.
No. A moment. If clouds are in direction down, this continent floating even higher up than clouds.
Exactly. It's floating much higher up than Frontier Village in Magma Forest. Or even Aerith Sea.
Strange, so strange. But why this island is floating higher than even clouds?
I remember something from an old book. As I recall, the Bionis Shoulder was once inhabited by the Giants, a highly advanced race. There used to be many islands floating above Aerith Sea, you know.
Kinono, teeny tiny islands floating in sky. Very fantastic view.
The Giants. They could process and utilize hoverstone, a mineral with floating properties.
Amazing! In Aerith Sea, they gather so much hoverstone, it lifted up whole continent.
Actually, you might have it backwards. Maybe they took hoverstone from here and transported it back to Aerith Sea.
Whoa! Elementary! Kino 220% agree.
Of course, it's best to take all this with a grain of salt.
Huh?
Until now, no Homs, or even High Entia, have set foot on this continent. That's why the book's author might only be speculating about some aspects.
No, it makes sense. Can be no mistaken theory of Shulk. Shulk really do know everything, just like Dad upon say.
Oh no. I'm positive there are things I don't know.
Dad upon say, friend Shulk is brainy smart, know everything. And also brave and cool, and could do anything if he put mind to it.
Did he really? I'm actually a little embarrassed now.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. It's only good thing. He also say Shulk is #1 sidekick of Dadapon. Next in line of awesome.
I see. Good old Ricky.
That's nice to see that's what Ricky thinks of Shulk. What a cool guy that is still not in the party and will not be. But what a great guy. But yeah, I've tried to make the episodes going forward a bit more focused, at least during this part where they kind of just like go, all right, go around and do side quests that are just beat up stuff or pick up stuff or these little shits. Because I'm kind of still in endgame mode despite this being cut out from the main, you know what I mean? Despite this being the start or like its new separate story, I'm kind of in that mode where I'm like, let's kind of get to it in a way. You know, I find it funny saying I was going to be less edit heavy and then I immediately had to edit anyway. I kind of just I started talking about something and then I realized, oh my God. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense at all. Whatever. Anyway, we made it through that little cave entrance thing, which wasn't a big deal. And we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna make some progress here in Pillar Knoll. This looks great, but you know what would make it a little bit better? Daytime. Ah, yes, that's the stuff. Where's our next dude? Our next dude's ahead. You may also wonder, what are all these? There's a quest on the left side of the map, which is the Pororo, I think her name is, where we had picked up some of those favorites as we went. You need 20, and you go all across the map, otherwise known as a bad quest. Because the quest didn't promise me untold riches. It promised me 50,000, but that's not nearly enough. You best believe we're just gonna run. This might be my favorite of the Monado designs, honestly. Just the way they did it. I'm like, man, they don't miss with these weapon designs at all, do they? Yeah, we're continuing to close in on Alchemoth. The beam is coming. You're just gonna shoot it right here. The whole bridge will be out. And then you're like, do 40 side quests to fix the bridge. And then he shoots it again. It's like, do 40 side quests to fix it again. And then I die. I mean, I could do this thing over here. Please go away. I didn't ask for your presence. Please don't sandwich me between two birds. Fine, I'll deal with you. If only because I want to see if I can do this quiet thing. I do find it hilarious that this is in one video. I've jumped 8 levels in one video. That's the power of side questing and fighting literally everything I see while doing it. Still haven't gotten my special attack yet, or at least I've yet to reach a fight that has put me in the situation to get it. Because they said you get a special attack during high tension when you collect these little dudes. And I did. I have gotten the burst thing where you press B at the right time a few times. And I have a bunch of these. But they still haven't grayed out. So I think it might be progress based. Or I haven't gotten a fight that would do it yet. Alright, we need both of them in. So let's do that.
Ah, Shulk.
Did you sense me?
Did something catch your eye? Wow. What a view. It's nice to see the capital like this.
Being able to see it from here, it's enough to make me tense up. In all honesty, it's making me consider my position and standing.
I see.
My brethren, who transformed into Telethia back then, and those who survived, feeling the sadness that seeped into this land. And then, my father and brother's expectations, calling me the hope of the High Entia. I must be an empress worthy of taking on that mantle. But I don't know how. Much as I hate to admit it, I have not been able to find the right answer yet.
Melia.
Shulk, you of all people must surely understand. You who secured a future for all of us in that decisive battle.
You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about what my visions were.
Oh?
The future that Zanza wanted. That was certainly one of the things I saw. But we fought to deny that future. And in doing so, forged our own path. That's part of it too. But now that I can no longer see them, I find myself doubting. Were we really, actually determining our own fate all along?
Well, it's a good question. But look, you have saved me more times than I can count. That did not come about because of your visions. You used your own judgment, and you chose to act, did you not? And thanks to that, I believe I've grown as an individual as well. I hardly think I said anything funny.
I'm sorry. You're right. I want my actions to have meaning too. Not to craft Zanza's future, nor defy him and bend the world to a future of our design, but to give the freedom to choose. To all beings that call this world home.
Freedom to choose, huh? What would my father and brother wish for? I wonder.
I don't think you need mystic visions to work that out. They just want you to be happy, right?
My gloom is no match for you, Shulk. It's just as you say. To become the hope of the High Entia is a fate I choose for myself. Those were the words Father imparted to me. There is no need to fear. That is how my brother encouraged me. I've been so impatient and homesick. I nearly forgot those most important words. I can hear Father lecturing me even now, chiding me for my foolishness. I give you my thanks, Shulk.
It's nothing.
To lack clear-cut answers is hardly a sin. But a sin it would be to cease searching for those answers altogether. For the High Entia who live on in this land. Nay, not only the High Entia. For the sake of all the people of this world, that they may decide the future as equals. That is the vision I choose to guide me. That is the future I wish for.
Yeah, if anyone could make it happen, it's you. But I won't lie to you. The road ahead will be long and arduous. I hope you won't mind me lending a hand. After all, that's the future I want too.
Shulk. Indeed, it'll be my pleasure.